Queen presents the 25th Annual Brent Hambrick Memorial Open, sponsored by Discraft. With additional support provided by Innova Champion Discs, Brad Schick, Six-Sided Discs, Diameter Apparel, Control CX, and the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Team in Training. Special thanks to everyone at the Columbus Flyers Disc Golf Club for organizing this event and for coordinating the volunteers who have helped make this possible. This is your official course preview of Brent Hambrick Memorial Disc Golf Course, a staple of Central Ohio disc golf for decades, located at scenic Hoover Reservoir in Westerville, Ohio. Brent Hambrick Memorial offers a complete challenge to every aspect of a player's game, from long bombs, forehands and backhands, elevation, woods, and for this tournament, plenty of out of bounds as well. The long tee layout is a bit longer than Lobdell Reserve at 7,176 feet, as is the short tee layout at 5,187 feet. Be sure to consult your caddy guide for more information on the layouts that each division will be playing. Hole 1 is a par 3, 344 feet from the long tee, with OB Road directly left and OB Parking Lot directly right. 242 feet from the short tee, hole 1 calls for a shot that moves to the right, navigates these fairway trees, and avoids the thick woods on the right of the basket, or out of bounds water deep of the basket. Hole 2 is a long downhill par 3, 489 feet from the long tee, 303 from the short. The road at the top of the dam is out of bounds and beyond, and the area on the slope above the concrete gutter, along with the gutter itself, plays as hazard. Play it where it lies and take a one-stroke penalty for any shot that lands to the right of the concrete gutter. Hole 3 from the long tee is 344 feet and not a single foot more. Bending your shot only slightly right will put you at the basket, but it's really easy to fade out early, go deep, or if you find yourself in some of that really thick rough, taking a bogey is definitely on the cards. From the short tee, hole 3 is 242 feet with some low-hanging branches. It's more of a technical shot than the long tee. Try to avoid the thick rough early and watch out for OB deep of the basket if you roll down into the woods. Hole 4, 488 feet from the long tee. This is a nice open shot that's going to bend slightly right and slightly downhill. Avoiding the trees along the right side of the fairway is critical. The basket is placed on a ledge that presents easy rollaway opportunities down to the OB road below. On the tournament layout, you're going to skip holes 5 and 6 and head over to hole 7. 471 feet from the long tee, or 293 from the short. This is a tricky downhill shot with OB Road and beyond surrounding the fairway on all sides. Taking a par on hole 7 won't lose strokes to much of the field. In fact, you'll probably gain strokes on anyone who went out of bounds or rolled away down this hill. From the long tee, hole 8 is 360 feet and a very unlikely birdie. Watch for out-of-bounds painted in line on the left side of the fairway and out-of-bounds creek deep of the basket. If your disc gets into the woods early, it's extremely difficult to make forward progress, so keep it in the fairway and play it safe. Hole 8 isn't much easier from the short tee. At 285 feet, you're just aiming to land near the gap in the trees straight ahead. Similar to hole 7, it wouldn't hurt to play it safe, as aggressive shots on this hole can be punished. Hole 9 plays as an island. Your tee shot is starting out of bounds and needs to cross and land inbounds beyond the gravel path. OB drives proceed to the drop zone. Keeping it inbounds is crucial, as all the out of bounds will punish any errant shots. Watch for OB road deep, OB gravel path left, and OB creek right. Moving on to hole 10, and we're in the woods. On the plus side, there's no out of bounds for a few holes, but there's more than enough natural hazards to add to your score. The right side of hole 10's fairway follows a steep ravine. Keep it in the fairway at all costs. If you have to miss left so that you can still approach the basket. The basket is in its deepest position with plenty of guardian trees, so play smart and you should be happy with a par on this one. The biggest mistake here on hole 11 is hitting one of the 2 early guardian trees. Keep your drive straight down the middle. Even aiming for that single large fairway tree is a safe bet. And if you can get past it, you may have a look at birdie. Hole 12 from the long tee is a tight tunnel shot that needs to bend to the right towards the basket. Again, there's a steep ravine along the right, which can be a nightmare if your disc gets down that hill. From the short tee, hole 12 is a must-get birdie. Just 180 feet, pick your favorite putter or approach disc, and avoid the hill on the right, and you should easily walk away with a birdie. From the long tee, hole 13 requires hitting a tight gap over the short tee to set up an approach to the basket. There are 2 lines to choose from, either through the tunnel on the left of the fairway or around the right with something overstable that can skip up close to the basket. Hole 14 is a long one, at 500 feet from the long tee. .370 from the short. It also plays uphill. Beating the first gap and landing up on the flat to see the basket is key. Here you can pick your approach at a relatively unprotected basket. Errant shots could find OB fence and beyond along the right side of the fairway or OB road and beyond. Proceed to hole A for the tournament layout and find a long tee with a straightforward 340-foot par 3 with OB road left. The hole slopes downhill slightly as you approach the basket, which can cause many shots to go deep or catch edge and roll into the rough. From the short tee, you have a slightly more technical 196-foot shot that needs to avoid the same OB road and again take that slope into consideration. After hole A, cross the street to your left to hole I. Hole I is a 325-foot shot from the long tee, 250 from the short. Again, watch for OB road and OB painted line and beyond, which is deep of the basket. With thick pine trees on the left of the fairway, it forces a tricky shot shape that gets back into the fairway early. Maybe an overstable flex shot can get you in birdie range on hole I. Back now to hole 15, the long tee is a tight tunnel shot that really only has one gap to aim at, which the drone will fly. As we pass the short tee, you'll see there's a couple of options, either through the tight tunnel on the left, over the top of the trees, or through the same gap that the drone flies. OB road along the right side should only come into play with a really bad tree kick. Hole 16 is also a shared tee at 318 feet. This shot is similar to hole 11, and the danger is also the same. Hitting an early tree or bush leaves almost no room to advance down the fairway, so keeping it in the fairway is critical. Once again, OB road on the right should only come into play for truly errant shots or bad kicks. Hole 17 is a shared tee, 350 feet. A mando on the right side of the fairway forces you to play your shot down the tunnel, which is good because it'll help you avoid throwing over the OB road along the right, which is very much in play on hole 17. Missed mandos play from the drop zone, which will be at the base of the mando tree. This is currently in the deepest pin position, so pick your gap accordingly. And finally, hole 18, a long, uphill, often windy fairway with OB road right and behind the basket. This will require whatever power you have left to get as far up the fairway as possible. If you have the power, eagle could be an option, but getting aggressive on hole 18 is very much risk-reward. Playing for an easy birdie could be a great way to finish your round. Dairy Queen presents the 25th annual Brent Hambrick Memorial Open, sponsored by Discraft. With additional support provided by Innova Champion Discs, Brad Schick, Six-Sided Discs, Diameter Apparel, Control CX, and the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Team in Training. Special thanks to everyone at the Columbus Flyers Disc Golf Club for organizing this event and for coordinating the volunteers who have helped make this possible. Like and subscribe for our last preview video of the Brent Hambrick Memorial Open, Alum Creek State Park, coming very soon.